have some people who end up missing. Before the concert, we will actually need to pull those chairs, any empty chairs, and spread the group out a little bit. Something that we're trying to help right now, if you are a flute or clarinet player, and you've taken your instrument out of the case, it would probably be best, and it's going to be less traffic for you, because as soon as the concert's over, we're going to have to start tearing down chairs. Okay, not literally turn them down. And the guy who is up recording this tonight has been working his tail off like every single night on stuff. The other night when Elster left, the kids didn't realize that he really needed some help just stacking the chairs right where they were. Okay, maybe about 7 at the highest. Okay, and so after the concert, we're going to need a little bit of help with this. Now, if you're having to help us load your instruments back onto the truck, you all go do that. But if you've got a clarinet, a flute, a trumpet, or something like that, and you can stay and help, that's going to help him clear that out. The Southwest Flyer has to come use this facility tomorrow morning. Okay? There are some stand carts back there. We're going to help them kind of get this thing done. Remember, many hands make for light work, and so we want to make sure that we don't leave all the work up to Mr. Stevens, who's up there recording, and is going to do a great job of getting everything ready for us, okay? I cannot tell you how excited I am to get to share this evening with you. I went home today, ironed my shirt, which is still a bit wrinkled. I'm going to tell you, it seemed like I couldn't get back here fast enough. And in my 4 years at Helen Tyson, now, I don't want everyone to hear this, but this has been one of our greatest growth years, I think, from the beginning of the year till now. And so to get to share with your parents how you grow musically, I mean, remember today, we grew so much in 10 minutes just by sitting and listening and really engaging. And I have to say, I couldn't get back here soon enough to share this moment with you. So I hope it doesn't go by too fast. I hope our music making is something that you enjoy, because all of that work that you've been doing up to this point, it's all coming together tonight. We don't want to just rush it by. We want to take that moment and enjoy it, because this is something we don't get to do very often. Sit on the stage and perform together. And I promise you, next year when you're in Southwest or wherever you're going, if you like the feeling of sitting on stage and performing together, or getting to perform together in a group, you're going to get a lot more of it. Okay? For me, after tomorrow morning's thing that we're doing, gosh, it's going to be clear till December again before I get to be on the stage with another group. Probably playing Boom Boom Stomp. Probably playing the Good King Rocks. But if you look at that music in front of you that we're playing tonight, you can definitely tell. Remember line 14 in the red book. Okay? Remember line 84. Okay? And now look at what you're doing tonight. This is huge. The main thing is we have to keep our head in the game. Okay? We can't go on autopilot. We've got to make sure those stands are up where you're watching me. We have to make sure that our minds are thinking about the things that Mr. Church talked about, that we've talked about balance, wise, and all that. Okay? It kind of comes down to how much are our brains really engaged with what we're doing tonight. Okay? It should be a very exciting time. I'm going to give you about a minute. Your music in the following order is the Golden Eagle March, followed by Intensity, and Mr. Church is going to direct that tonight. I really value the time. I hope you all value and enjoyed the time you got to spend with him today. We've never done that before here at Helen Tyson. I've always been the one to conduct everything. So it's really neat that we're sharing the directing responsibility. The next song is Give Me Some Lovin'. No. I'm a Believer. Just checking. Okay, I'm a Believer is third. Then Give Me Some Lovin'. And remember, on Give Me Some Lovin', we got to hold the long notes all the way out, or we're going to have gaps for ourselves. I will introduce at the parents our new tradition of playing the school song, and that'll be the last thing we do when we stand up and take our bow. Hey, folks, one thing, you see the trophies sitting up on the table tonight. Okay? I don't even know how many there are. There are about 2 for every class. I wish I could say every one of those had your name on it. And if I could have done it, every one of those, we would have had enough trophies for each and every one of you. Because you know what? I think about us, okay? And I'm the one leading us. All right, let's do horns up. Remember, we talked about nice, clean articulations. Those shorts having to be even a little bit shorter so they don't sound long. Lots of low, less over here. Okay, here we go. Horns are up. And 1, 2, and 1, 2, ready.
70. Last two hard. Got it? Here we go. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, go.
sound. This is too cool of a piece, but it really relies on those long full chords that we've got. Okay. Trombone immediately toot 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 toot. Baritones immediately toot 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 toot. As strong as you can. Okay. Trumpets, make sure it works solid when we turn to the side. That's a hard interval. Here we go. I think this is the most fun concert we've had yet. Love the music. Go. 1, 2, and 1, 2, ready. Snares, could we crescendo just a little bit more in measure 3 and 4? Okay, just a little bit more so that that really links in the band, okay? One more time. Well, what happens is you're starting forte, and then in measure 3 you drop it down, and then you come back out, all the way back up to what a forte. So it is really a big deal to there. Can I hear just percussion at the beginning for a moment? Just percussion. Go. 1, 2, and percussion 2, ready, and. Was it this song on cowbell that I said there really couldn't be too much? I think it was a little bit, yeah. Yeah, just keep watching it if I say. Bring it up. What's that? If I'm doing this, this means if I'm doing this. Okay? That's like the people on the airplane. It's like running. Yeah. There you go. Beginning percussion once more. 1, 2, and percussion 2, ready, and. Got it? Full band now. Okay, I won't start with your body. Because you're using your energy for evil, right? Yes. Use your energy for good, folks, or good things, folks. We're drunk. Remember, don't be the person everybody else is waiting on. And 1, 2, and 1, 2,
Good evening, parents, grandparents, students. I'm Susan Buchanan, the proud principal of Helen Tyson Middle School, and I'd like to welcome you tonight to our spring band concert. Our students and band directors have been practicing very hard for this last concert, and I know you're going to enjoy these wonderful sounds they're going to be presented to you tonight. One thing I would like to tell you is if you could continue to support our band program throughout your child's career, it is very rewarding, not only personally for your child, but also scholarships are available. What I see with our band students at Helen Tyson is a great determination, great organization skills, which will carry them through life. So I really urge you to continue your support, and I thank you for being here tonight. This is a very special concert for me because it's really my last one. I'm retiring at the end of the year, and it has been a wonderful 28 years, and I want to thank all of you because these kids are what makes my life so enjoyable. So I want you to sit back tonight to relax, to enjoy the wonderful sounds, and that song that they were just practicing, I thank Mr. Darrow because he knows I love that song. I feel like we're always giving them some loving every day, just like you do. So thank you again for coming, and you're in for a real treat tonight.
Okay, before Miss Buchanan gets away from us, Miss Buchanan, you need to come back up. We have something for you. I'm going to talk fast because she knows how I feel about her retiring, and I've got to stay happy, and I'm so happy that she's moving on to this next chapter of her life. But it's kind of hard for me to say goodbye to her, so I'm not going to really say goodbye because I know she'll be back. But just really quickly, I've prepared something I'd like to say. We're celebrating her retirement with her tonight. She's been a wonderful leader who has led our school to national recognition time and time again. She has challenged us as teachers at Helen Tyson. The team over there is just amazing. I've taught in plenty of school districts, but you can't walk in Helen Tyson, and I knew this when I came for my interview, without feeling something special. And she's a lot of the reason that it feels special. She allows us to work as a team. She is one of our team members. And so to see her go on to this next step of life, so excited for her, but kind of sad too. So we would like to present something to her on behalf of our band, on behalf of the previous band director who was here that was knowing that she's going to be retiring. So it says, we're presenting this plaque to Susan Buchanan for outstanding leadership as principal of Helen Tyson Middle School, as well as her ongoing support of the HTMS music department from 2005 to 2015. And I know she shed a few tears in the last few days as well, and the kids no doubt know how much she cares for them. Thank you for attending our concert tonight. It is, I think, one of the most exciting concerts that I've had the opportunity to get ready for. The music is exciting. Many of you who have been hearing us warm up can already agree that you're in for a real treat tonight. These students, if you remember back in September, just those first sounds. I remember the first day I was trying to teach them to put that clarinet together and not dent the bridge key and not, just all of these things. And to hear where they're at tonight is just a truly enjoyable, it's why I do what I do. And I'm joined here tonight by Mr. Church, who is our Southwest director. You're going to get to hear a little bit more from him tonight. Mr. Alonzo, another one of our Southwest director, and Mr. Morris, who teaches in just about every school in this district. He works his tail off. So we're going to start our concert tonight with a piece entitled The Golden Eagle March by John Edmondson. Before we go on to our second piece of music, I'd like to tell you a little bit about this nice big banner that you see here. In mid-March, we found out that Helen Tyson Middle School was named by the National Association of Music Merchants as a Support Music 2015 Merit Award recipient. And what made us qualify for that award was really nothing that I do. It is what our school district has done. It represents this award and distinguishment, our distinguished merit award represents the fact that our school district sees music as a very valuable part of our students' lives. And so with J.O. Kelly Middle School, with George Junior High School, and with Helen Tyson, all three of us had received that award this year, and it's an amazing distinguished award, like I said, that we will receive national recognition. We've received congratulations letters from all over the country. And different cities, different school districts around the country will be looking at Springdale to say, what is it that makes their music program so special? And it's the support that we get from both the school district, from our administrators, from how we teach music, the curriculum that we offer. So we're very pleased to be receiving this award and letting other schools learn from what we do here. So congratulations to our school, congratulations to our district, congratulations to our community for being recognized in such a way that it brings a great notoriety to our school district and our town. The next award, our next thing I would like to present on the award, or on the concert, can't speak tonight, is our solo and ensemble students. We had 72 students who attended solo and ensemble competition at the end of February. If you remember the day that all of a sudden we had a freak snowstorm, an ice storm, the students had no sooner walked in the band room to get on the bus, and all of a sudden we had to cancel the event. Several of you were there. Several of you remember, it wasn't really chaos, but it was like, what do we do now? We got all of the kids home, out of the band room by 4 o'clock, got them on buses. It was great. Miss Buchanan was there. I know Miss Sanford was there. Mr. McKim was there. And everything just came together to get the kids home safely. 2 weeks later, we took those 72 students to West Fork, Arkansas, and they competed for a judge for the first time ever. And I'd like for the students who attended that competition to stand up and be recognized. All of our students earned either Superior or Excellent awards. So if y'all would stand up, please, and give them a round of applause. And next, I would like to turn the podium and even the microphone, if you would like, to speak over to Mr. Church. He is going to direct our next piece of music, and I may let him introduce that and see what he wants to say to you. I'd like to invite any of the directors who would like to come up and read their students. We're getting ready to do a pretty big award recognition for our students. A lot of the parents have been seeing our Facebook and seeing when we celebrate the students' achievement of passing off the red book or the blue book. That's a big deal. That shows a significant amount of progress throughout the school year. And our students have really taken ownership of that. After a while, it no longer, is us trying to encourage them to practice. They have those goals set for themselves. And it's really been exciting to see this. And what we'd like to do is take a moment and acknowledge the students who have achieved this accomplishment of passing the red book. Some of our students, depending on their classes, have worked in the blue book and passed some of the blue book as well. So we're going to read the names of those. It may take us a little bit because we're very proud to say we have several of these students who have achieved this level of musicality. And so if you would please hold your applause till we finish naming all of the names. And I apologize again, students, if I mispronounce any of your names. Okay. All right, students, if you all would stand as I call your name, and we will again hold applause till the end. In flutes, Yanixia Acosta, Mariana Alcala, Paola Barrasso, Lizzie Coronado. Elizabeth also passed her blue book just today. Cassandra Garcia, Shreya Gandhi, Daisy Hernandez, Melissa Hernandez, Yolanda Joash, Jamelyn Lecon, Lily Miller, who could not be with us tonight, Gabby Mora, Aileen Ortiz, Lupita Pineda, Alexis Samarin, Kimberly Velasquez. Okay, in clarinet, we have Alex Alcala, Magdalena Barroso, Amaya Bravo, Alexia Brito. Melanie Cortez, Bethany Davis, Arlene Delgado, Emmeline Dewberry, Diego Diaz, Hannah Douglas, Isla Esparza, Nada Garcia, Carla Hernandez, Emma Keene, Magdalena Macias, Kayla Mendez, Adriana Noriega, Avalon Pearson, Chloe Reed, Giselle Rosas, Laura Sanchez, Donna Sanchez, Taylor Shaw, Cameron Wallace, Angela Zavala, saxophone, we're going on, Jonathan Avalos, Drew Casey, who also finished his blue book, Skylar Casey, Ronald Siciliano, who also finished his blue book, Abraham Montoya, who finished his blue book and red book, Natalie Perea, Keaton Spell, who also finished his blue book, in trumpet, Hunter Bond, Hayden Bursey, who also finished his blue book, Ruby Brinkley, Carl Capel, Daniel Cruz, Corbin Finstead, who also finished his blue book, and if I'm not mistaken, was the first one of the year to do that. Daniel Fuentes, who also finished his blue book. Karen Galvin, Gavin Mansell, Alberto Martinez, Sean McKim, who also finished his blue book. Daniel Medina, Taimi Nasali, who also finished his blue book. Gabriel Nicholas, Manuel, Lewis Pratt. Manny Perez also finished his blue book as well. Lewis Pratt finished his red and blue book. Giovanni Salas, Will Saltz finished his red and blue book. Braden Sanford, red and blue book. Carlos Sanchez, red book. Miguel Serratos, red book. Aaron Smith, red book and blue book. Isaac Vega finished red book. Going on French horns, this is an amazing list. This is a huge accomplishment for these students. I hope you all don't mind me acknowledging them. Quinn Cowing in French horn, Jada Curtis, Hannah Fisk, Zaria Maybone, Caitlin Mosby, Brooke Wages. Going on, Araceli Aguilar, Alberto Almanza, Jason Barroso, Kai Clark, Wendy De La Rosa, Davis Doty, Ronald Herrera, Ricky Montefer, Bryant Pelkey, Caleb Osterman, Graham Smith, Derek Stephen, Carson Taylor. In baritones, Jasmine Garcia, Jason Gaitan, Christian Herrera, Jorge Luna, who also finished his blue book, Jorge Rea, Izzy Runkin. In tuba, Kevin Diaz, Sarah Manos, Tyler Kirkland, Braden Martin, Carson Schlesinger, who stayed late last night and finished his blue book. And in percussion, percussion does not do the same type of pass-offs that the rest of the band does. They don't really use the red book. And so actually for them to get finished with their pass-offs by now is kind of unusual. But we do have a student who has done that, and it's John Paul Hignite. And we'd like to acknowledge him. So if we could give one collective great big round of applause for these students and their accomplishments. Okay, the next piece of music, some of you are old enough to remember back when the Monkees were popular. Now, I'm not quite that old, but I do remember them in reruns. I remember back in the early 80s when they brought them back and they played them constantly on like one of those TV stations that like that's all they played. And I remember my generation kind of really got it back into the Monkees for a while. Well, then a few years later we had this movie called Shrek come out. And so it made one of the Monkees pieces of music really famous again. And so we would like to perform for you tonight, either whether you remember it from the 60s, when the Monkees did it, and when Davy Jones was on the Brady Bunch, or if you remember it from Shrek, here is I'm a Believer. Okay, we've had some nice hardware sitting up on the table in front of me, and I told the students tonight, if it were possible for me, every one of these students would be receiving a trophy tonight. We're going to invite the different classroom teachers. Again, I teach with Omar Alonso, with CJ Morris, and with Mr. Chris Church from Southwest. And I'm going to invite them up to present the awards for their classes so they can say the special things about the students who are receiving awards that they would like to say. So guys, if you would come on out. Okay. So, Mr. Alonso.
Good evening. My name is Omar Alonso, and I am the director at Southwest Junior High and the beginning flute and clarinet teacher. I want to first thank you for all the support you have given these students. This is my first year to have an all-girl flute class and an all-girl clarinet class. One of the hardest things to do every year is pick the most outstanding student in my Director's Award. Every single one of these students is deserving of these awards, but at the end of the day, I must make my decision. Flutes and clarinets, I hope you know how proud of you I am. My flutes are full of personality and are total divas. But my outstanding flute player goes to the student I felt has been the most consistent all year in her playing. She has been the first student who has ever challenged Mr. Alonso, myself, for the teacher chair. It is my privilege to give my award to Lily Miller. We wish she was here to accept this award, but due to circumstances, she could not be here today. My director's award for flute goes to the student who came in very shy and was quiet at the beginning. With the help of her peers, she has improved so much that even her peers have been impressed with all her sight reading skills. She has made a lot of headway, and I can't wait to see what she does next year. My director's award goes to Yolanda Joash. This is by far the strongest clarinet class I have ever had, and I mean ever. This group of ladies are so aggressive, yet so caring and supporting of each other. They do what is best for each other. This is the first clarinet class I have ever had. They're playing so well that they're playing at a 3-year level, in my opinion. My outstanding award goes to the clarinet player who is always ready to take on a challenge head on. She is very aggressive and does not back down from a challenge. This award goes to Magdalena Macias. My director's award goes to someone that I have seen a bunch of growth in. Her technique and her tone was not quite there yet with all of the other clarinets, but you would not be able to tell now. Even the clarinets wouldn't be able to guess who I'm talking about. My director award goes to Arlene Delgado.
For those of you who don't know, a lot of our other directors teach at different schools. I'm at Helen Tyson all day, so you're going to get to hear me present quite a few awards, and it's, like Mr. Alonso said, rather tough to just select one or two out of such a great group. The first awards that I'm going to present tonight are from my second period clarinet class. Boy, they've had to put up with a lot this year. Lots of Mr. Darrow coming in, man, in a great mood, or all of a sudden, you know, we're trying to run and get things together really fast. But it's about 30 students, and within that 30 students, we've had students switch over to oboe this year. So we're trying to add oboe into our beginning clarinet class and bass clarinet. And so all of a sudden, they found this clarinet class that was kind of just going along pretty smoothly. All of a sudden, oh gosh, we have to slow down a little bit because we have bass clarinets now. And the bass clarinets have done a great job. And the oboes came along. We had to kind of slow down and get those students kind of acclimated. So my outstanding clarinet awards, the first one goes to a student who, you've heard the term quiet leader. And she really has been. She started at the beginning of the year and was kind of sitting about middle of the section, and then all of a sudden, I started getting these pass-offs from her for online, and all of a sudden I was like, wow, this girl is really, really practicing, not letting up at all, and then she has consistently this semester sat at the top of the section. And wonderful student. I wish she were going on to Southwest next year, but she is moving on to Central, and so my outstanding clarinet player would be Emma Keene. The second student for my director's award, and how I chose this, she's an outstanding player. I was receiving pass-offs from her all hours of the night on Christmas holidays, on everything. One thing that really stood out to me about this young lady was her ability or her willingness to go above and beyond. Mr. Darrow, do you need help with this? What can I do for this? I noticed really one day that she just all of a sudden stood up and said, let me go help this student over here. And just an outstanding young lady. We're sending her off to, I believe, George Junior High next year. But my director's award goes to Chloe Reed. My next class that comes in is saxophone class. Whenever you get a saxophone class of 13 or 14 students, you're thinking, oh my gosh, am I going to survive through it? It has been an outstanding class. They have, like Mr. Alonso said about his clarinet, been very aggressive. Every challenge that I've given them, they've just risen up and met that challenge, and many of the students have gone beyond. The student that I give my outstanding award to started off very much, he kind of sat in the back row, although we didn't have a back row, and I could just tell he was observing. He was getting comfortable with his space, and boy, once he did, he just took off like wildfire. And my outstanding saxophone player this year is Abraham Montoya. The next student in my saxophone class is my director's award. I remember getting an email from his parents just a few weeks ago that said, we really had no idea how much he would fall in love with saxophone, but he plays this all the time. He has even started figuring out his own songs. And he will get something in his head, and he said, I'm going to figure out how to play that. He's been very consistent. I found out that he loves like 50s rock and roll, like Jerry Lee Lewis and Johnny Cash, I think. So he kind of inspired me a little bit on our music this year, just to kind of go back a few decades and find something a lot of fun to play. My director's award goes to an outstanding student as well named Keaton Spell. French horns, what can I say about them? It's always okay ladies and Hector. It's nine young ladies and one boy. So I'm used to being able to say okay ladies and Hector. This has been a great class. It has been one of probably my best French horn classes that I've had here at Helen Tyson Middle School. I will tell you honestly, it's not my strongest instrument, but I think that's why I've enjoyed teaching it so much, because I've learned about it a lot about it myself. But the students that I have this year are just great. They're great listeners, they're great workers. Students who have had individual challenges have just met those challenges and are doing outstanding work. My top student is full of personality, and she belongs to a long string of band folk here in Springdale. Her name is Hannah Fisk. The second student, the Director's Award, is a student who quietly just kept advancing and advancing and advancing. She kind of came up against a challenge that she had that really, I kind of wondered how long it would take her to get through it. It was just a huge process. And all of a sudden one day, I'm not sure what turned on or what happened, but she got it. And since that time, she's just been unstoppable. And that student would be Brooke Wages for my Director's Award. Going on to trumpets, 6th-hour trumpets. If you've been in that class, you know they are a very energetic bunch. I've often said if they could just go eat before they come to band, or if maybe they could go outside and play for about 15 minutes, but they come in, and whenever I say it's pass-off time, I mean every hand goes up in the air. They have these little challenges within each other that I don't even really know about. Hey, I'm going to get this before you do and get this before. But at the same time, it is a great team. I just see these kids, I told them the other day, I see these kids running the course with each other, just going all the way through band. So it's been tough to pick the top out of the group. The first one is my outstanding student, and he had played 1 year before he came to us, but at the same time, whenever it was time for him to really get challenged to move on, he did it. And he's been a very quiet leader, but I think he's really done a great job of motivating our entire group, and that's Timey Nasavai. I hear he has a pretty talented brother, too. My director's award could have easily gone to the 15 other guys in that class. There is one student who, sometimes he was just a little bit, what you're supposed to be doing, but for the most part, he was spot on every pass-off that he ever did. He worked every detail. He didn't sit high in the section. Wasn't because he couldn't, he just had a lot of good competition. But I liked his work ethic, and I liked what he stood for. And I told him one day, I said, what I really see in you is determination. When you become determined to do something, you do it. And probably it's going to be a little bit of a surprise, but no surprise to me, it's Miguel Cerratos. Okay, and I have a second trumpet class that comes in right after lunch. Personality, totally different. They are a great bunch. There's only 11 of them in there. But we have so many different personalities that they just click in a neat way. And so going on to this class, we have a couple of students that I'd like to present to. The first student is a student that once she gets it, she's got it. It may take her a little while to get it, but she's just determined to get it. And I love when I get to see the lights come on in her eyes. I get it. And once she does, boy, I mean, there's no missing it again. My outstanding student in trumpet, this will be 7th block, is Karen Galvin. And Director's Award. Very, very hardworking student, has come against a lot of challenges this year. We've had to work with embouchure and getting things opened up. He has never let down any of the frustrations that he's had along the year with anything that he's had challenge-wise. He's just said, you know what, we're going to get this and we're going to keep working. He's gotten challenged some, won a few, lost a few, but his determination has just, and his resolve has stayed firm. My Director's Award for 7th period trumpet goes to Sean McKim. All right, I'm almost finished, I promise. Next class. This is my 3rd year to get to teach the baritone class, and I've told them every day. In fact, I even asked Miss Buchanan, I said, okay, if you have to come and evaluate me with the class, please come to the baritone class. It is just the personalities again in there. It's just neat kids, very neat kids. I have 2 students in there that have really kind of stood out to me. The first student, boy, when the fire got lit under him, it just kept burning. And he has passed off his red book, he has passed off his blue book, he is passing off scales, just like crazy. And I think he's a wonderful leader for our section and definitely an outstanding student, and it's Jorge Luna. The second student, going back to that quiet leader type, I know that he's going to make a great leader. I think he's a great musician. I think he's a great person. And he's just done a wonderful job for us this year. There are so many students in this class I wish I could give an award to, but my Director's Award is going to Christian Herrera. I'm going to turn the microphone over to Mr. Church so you all can hear a fresh voice.
He told me to keep this to an hour and a half, so I will do my best. That's a joke. Wake up. I asked the students on stage, and those of you sitting in the audience tonight, to do something later on. Take the CD that you may buy tonight, or I'm sure Mr. Darrell will probably put it on our Facebook page. Listen to these kids play tonight. Save it. And at the end of next year, when they do their spring concert in junior high, listen to the improvement. How many of you sitting out in the audience right now, back in September, when your son or daughter brought their instrument home for the first time, you were thinking, why? What am I doing to my ears? I mean, if I had a show of hands, we'd have a lot of hands go up. Think of what you're hearing tonight. Hey, students on stage, shh. And then hear them in a year or 2 years or 3 years. You know, these kids had the opportunity to come over and see the Springdale and HAR-BER marching bands last fall. And a lot of you have seen a high school marching band of any kind. This is where they start, and that's where they go. You know, I'm sure I speak for all the directors when I say this, that, you know, it takes special people to teach kids at school, whether they're kindergarten, high school, anybody in between, be a secretary, be a custodian, be a cook, be a teacher, be an administrator. The neatest thing about teaching band students, they come to class because they want to be there, and you hear them at this age, and you see them mature from 7th to 8th to 9th, all the way through their senior year of high school. Not to mention here the amazing things they do as they get older, but they also have to remember, this is where it starts. Okay, well, the trombone class, they just kind of slide along a little bit. Okay, that's trombone humor. Slide along. Okay, it doesn't get any better, and they know that, so they're just kind of used to my bad sense of humor. The outstanding award in the trombone class, it's going to be kind of obvious to the kids. I don't even need to say much about him. He's been sitting at the very top the entire time. Mr. Bryant Pelkey. He even challenged me one day. When Mr. Darrell told me about the Director's Award, we all, in all of our classes, we've kind of approached it very differently. And to see what the kids, just something that kind of catches your eye, catches your ear. Well, the Director's Award of the trombone class is going to someone who, 9 times out of 10, as a teacher, you didn't know he was there. And that could be a good thing. Very quiet, comes in, does their thing, leaves, and constantly just keeps working and getting better and getting better and getting better. And it was amazing. Always knew the answers, always had his stuff together, always knew exactly what was going on. And that goes to Mr. Carson Taylor. Speaking of different, tuba players are another breed. I can say that because I are one. They have been a blast. And if you think, if you have a son or daughter, since there's only one female in our tuba section that plays tuba, you know they're full of hot air. And that helps, because when you're blowing air through something that's 25, 30 feet long, you better have a lot of lung support. This is not an award, so I don't want this person to get really excited, but this is a motivating thing for all the kids on stage, and so the parents understand this too. Carson, would you walk out front with your tuba? This is not an award, so don't get too excited. Pick your tuba up and walk out in front of Braden. And hold it up. Okay. I think Carson figured out the other day that he can fit in the case. Not to mention the horn. Now here's why I'm having him come out here. When kids have a fire lit underneath them, and I don't know what causes that. I don't know what his mom and dad are feeding him. Obviously nothing to make him grow. We do short jokes every day in class with Carson, but the reason I say that, he has finished his blue book, and I'm pointing this out to you, probably in the last 3 weeks, did almost the entire blue book pass-off stuff. He was coming in once a week with me after school and stuff, and just a fire got lit, and so there's no award for this, Carson, but you get the You Lit My Fire award. Okay. The outstanding tuba student of the tuba class, again, has kind of been sitting there on top for quite some time, is Mr. Braden Martin. Don't tell Mr. Morris I'm saying this, but if I could just keep Braden off the percussion instruments, it'd be great. And again, thinking about students that just something catches your eye. Beginning of the year, and I think all the kids in the class, in the tuba class, are going to agree with this. I was beginning to wonder if a light bulb was even going to ever come on. Struggled, 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 struggled. Kept trying, would not give up. If there's an award called perseverance, I think that's really what this director's award should be. Kept working at it, kept working at it, kept working at it. First time, got a test played all the way through from beginning to end. I think the entire class kind of stood up and go, yeah! Because they knew, sometimes there are those battles we all have to kind of go through a little bit. And when we started getting into the challenge system, started challenging people, and I was thinking, like, this is going to be interesting, and boom, 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 there he goes. So the Director's Award this year for the tuba class goes to Mr. Jose Valdez.
Hi, my name is CJ Morris. I am the percussion teacher at Helen Tyson. They're some of my favorite people in the world right there. I'm the luckiest guy in the world to be teaching percussion here. The Outstanding Percussionist Award goes to a student who really from day one was already playing really well. What really impressed me as the year went on was how quickly they were able to learn and complete the pass-offs. I've never had a percussionist until this year be able to complete all of the pass-offs because of how challenging it is to be proficient at not just one instrument, but two, snare drum and marimba. This is an accomplishment worthy of recognition. The Outstanding Percussionist Award goes to John Paul Hignite. Sometimes learning an instrument happens quite naturally. Sometimes learning an instrument is very difficult and nothing seems to come easy. And then you have to decide, how badly do I want to work at this? As you know, one of the major performance opportunities during the beginning year is getting to perform a solo at the Regent Solo and Ensemble Festival in West Fork. It's a fun day. You get to ride a bus with your band friends, you play for somebody new that you don't know, and you have the potential to earn a medal if you play well. Well, the only catch is you have to pass off the solo in class for the teacher and your peers before you are allowed to go. Well, when it came time in class to pass off the solos, many of the students did well. I gave them the thumbs up and said, you can go to West Fork and play your solo if you like. But the last student who played that day struggled to even finish their solo. There were many mistakes, and unfortunately I had to say, no, you can't go to West Fork. Your solo still needs a lot of work. Please fix this, this, and this, and this. The hearts of the class sank for this person because they didn't want them to be left out. The student asked me, may I try again next week? And I said, of course, sure. 3 short days later, this student got in front of the class and played his solo again. This time, not only did he finish the solo, but it was outstanding. The class and myself were blown away by how much better he played, and I knew at once that he must have put in many hours to make so much improvement. This student has been a great example of determination and that you can overcome obstacles if you're willing to put in the time. Please help me in congratulating Duke Habercorn for the Director's Award. If you'd like to see this great group of percussionists once again, we'll be performing a percussion ensemble concert next Thursday night at 7 p.m. right here on this stage. It features all of my percussion students that I teach in Springdale, and I assure you, you will enjoy it. Thank you.
We told the students that tonight it really is about them. Just on behalf of the other directors, you know, a lot of people will say, oh, Mr. Darrow, you motivate my child so well, or Mr. Church. I want to tell you all that your children motivate us. They challenge us as well to be better teachers, to find solutions. This has been one of the most outstanding groups that I felt like I've worked with, because I felt constantly challenged. And so for as much as they think that I motivate them, or that their teacher motivates them, or you know, it goes back the other way as well. You know, I can't think of a job where you get that much reward every single day to go in and see the lights come on, and to feel like you've helped a student succeed, and to see them really plug in and develop a love for music. So students, on behalf of myself and of your other 3 band directors from Helen Tyson, I want to thank you for keeping us challenged, keeping us motivated, and helping us to continue to love our jobs. Directors, can we give our students a round of applause, please? The students are ready to play that song that we picked for Miss Buchanan. She absolutely loves Give Me Some Lovin'. They're tired of sitting and hearing us talk. So we're going to get on to our next piece of music, and they are going to just rock your world and rock your socks with Give Me Some Lovin'.
real fast commercial, and I need the kids on stage to hear this too. Guys on stage, can you listen, please? Most of you know at Southwest we have 3 bands. They're called Varsity Band, Concert Band, Symphonic Band in the spring, and then we have Varsity Band, Concert Band, Marching Band in the fall. We've not told the kids yet which band they've been placed into for primarily one reason. Of course, some of you as parents want to know and the kids want to know too. Learned a long time ago to be careful with this. If you've ever been around a counselor working a master schedule, they're trying to figure out somewhere between 4,500 to 5,000 different classes over at Southwest for the kids there. Made a mistake one time of saying, hey, so-and-so, you're in such and such a band, and they were excited. And because of their schedule, we had to put them in an hour where they really weren't supposed to be. I hope that makes sense. So we've waited this long to kind of let the kids know. We think probably next week they'll be able to find out whether I'm in the marching band or the concert band or the varsity band. And something I'm going to ask the students on stage to remember, and you all as family members. Not only do we listen to these kids to try to place them in whichever group they're going to go into, but they're also, I hate to use this word, but it's true, competing with kids that have played a year longer than they have. You know, they're all 7th graders. Well, next year it's 8th and 9th grade. So the band classes are mixed. When they go to English class next year, it's all 8th graders. When they go to math, it's all 8th graders. They come to band, it's a mixture of 8th and 9th graders. So we have to be very careful on placing them. And this is what I need the kids to hear, and parents too, if you would. As soon as the kids find out, when we can let them know, we have a handbook that we're going to send home with the marching band kids. They'll all get this when school starts next fall. If they're in varsity band and concert band, the marching band kids will get it within the next week or so. There are several pieces of paper that we have to have signed and brought back to us, and we would like to try to get all that back before school is out, because we actually have our first home game that we play for. Are you ready for this? 2nd week of school. So they're going to have some music to learn very quickly, which brings up the next topic. They're going to get it all before school's out. So if they come to you during the summer and say, I have nothing to practice, you can say, remember that packet of stuff Mr. Church gave you? Go get it out and get busy. So if you'll just kind of encourage them a little bit, because they're going to have, if they are in the marching band stuff, they're going to have a lot of stuff to learn. So again, we'll give them this handbook. Please make sure to read through it. We'll go through it with the kids, and there's several things, medical papers and all kinds of stuff that we just need information on them, and have that brought back before school's out. And then the concert band, varsity band kids will get that next fall when the school year starts. Okay? Ladies and gentlemen, the 7th grade band and the Helen Tyson fight song. And Mr. Darrow.
And this was my cue. We're going to start a new tradition this year. If you look at your program, you'll see that the school song, the Helen Tyson fight song, or Helen Tyson school song, something I want to be able to acknowledge. If you haven't heard yet, we have a tremendous new leader coming into our school. She is full of ideas, full of energy. So if you know Miss McConnell, and you get to see Miss McConnell, stop by and say, congratulations, because I know you're going to carry on the Helen Tyson Hornet legacy for years to come. But if you notice the name Sydney McConnell, the lyrics for the school song several years ago, and Sydney is now in college, but while she was at Helen Tyson, she actually came up with the words. Now, if you don't know the tune to our school song, you're getting ready to hear it, and it's going to sound very, very familiar to you. Here's what we don't want you to do, is just sit in your chair and listen. We want you to stand up and clap along, because whether you are a Helen Tyson Hornet fan, which we all are, or a hint, hint, Arkansas Razorback fan, okay, you got to stand up and you got to get into this last tune that we're going to play. Before we do that, I would like to thank our sound technician and our guy who helps run the theater and all of the fine arts, Performing Arts Center staff who have helped make this evening possible with all the lighting, getting everything set up. Mr. Ford, Mr. Morris, and all the students from HAR-BER High School who have helped get the stage set up for us. We walked in today and everything was perfect. And that was thanks to them coming out and doing the work for us. Also like to thank our school administration again, Miss Buchanan, Miss McConnell, Mr. Scott, for their outstanding and undying devotion to our music programs at Helen Tyson, and also to Dr. Jim Rollins. Not sure if he's here tonight, but again, he is just a very strong supporter of arts, and he feels like music and the arts, that every core academic subject ties to that. And we are so lucky to have an administrator and a leader of our school district who encourages the arts as much as he does in our community. And we'd like to see you continue to support the arts as well. So it's time to get up and stretch. It's time to hear our last piece of music, and it is the Helen Tyson / Arkansas fight song.